Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name's Taylor and today I'm going to be doing the mid-year book tag. It is currently July 13th, so a little bit past the exact mid-year, but I'm still going to consider it the middle of the year, so I figured I could still jump on this trend. Basically what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to answer a bunch of questions about the books that I've read so far this year. So let's just go ahead and get on into it. Alright, so I have my phone here that has all of the questions I'm going to be answering on it. So the first one is, how many books have I read so far this year? I'm going to go ahead and get on Goodreads and look at my challenge so far. So far I have read, I don't know if you can see that, I've read 53 books and my goal is to read 55 this year. I kind of want to reach the 100 mark, but I don't know if that's going to happen, so I'm gonna leave it at 55 because I know I can hit it. I've read 53 books total so far. And the next question I have is a breakdown of the books that I've read so far. So for that one, I'm gonna go to Storygraph. Like I said, so far I've read 53 books with a total of 21,948 pages. My average time to finish a book is 3 days. Most of my books are medium paced. And let's see, my top genre is romance, then contemporary, then fantasy, and then young adult, and then thriller. So the next question is my favorite book of the year so far, and I'm not going to leave it at one book per question because I just don't think that's fair with the amount of books I've read. So I'm going to do a couple for each, but I'm going to try not to reuse books for the different questions. So my favorites of the year so far have been Powerless by Lauren Roberts, Kingdom of Ash by Sarah J. Maas, and then Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. Whenever I'm considering my favorite book of the year, I was really trying to decide which books I've, thought about the most after I've read them, which books left the most impact on me, and yeah, I think these three are my favorite books of the year so far. Alright, next up is my least favorite book of the year. And listen, I try not to judge books too harshly because I know my book taste isn't everybody's book taste. However, this is my channel, so I am going to tell you what my personal least favorite book of the year was. And that was The Island by Natasha Preston. And of course, that's so far this year. We still have a whole 5.5 months, I think, so there could be a book that I like less than this one, but so far this is my least favorite book. Honestly, Natasha Preston, any book by hers that I've ever read, the ending just ruins the entire book for me. Like, I thoroughly was enjoying this book. I liked where it was going. I thought it was really entertaining, but the ending. If there was a different ending, it would have been so much better. So I'm just going to leave it at that, but this is my least favorite book of the year so far. The next question is the best sequel of the year so far. And like I said, I'm trying not to use the same books over and over again. So there are multiple books that I could apply to this. However, I already used Kingdom of Ash, which would have been in this category. And there is another book series that I will be showing later that also could be applied to this prompt, but I will just show these two because these two are also really great sequels in my opinion, and I liked them better than the first books. So the first one is Nightbane by Alex Astor. This follows up Lightlark, and this book was so much better than the first one. I could not put this one down. The first one was a little bit of a drag in my opinion. I was a bit confused reading the first one, but this one, on the other hand, I loved. So I am excited for the third one to come out. So this is the first one for this prompt. And then the second one is Daisy Hates by Jessa Hastings. Listen, I'm a Daisy girl through and through. I love Daisy, I love Christian, I love Julian. Therefore, the Daisy Hates portion of the Magnolia Parks universe is my favorite. I know. not everyone's gonna agree with that, and that's totally okay. We all have different tastes, and I acknowledge that, but for me, I love Daisy. So this is the second book for the best sequel. The next prompt is a new release that you haven't read yet, but you are excited to read. I have a couple, so let me grab them. I low-key have a lot. Okay, new releases that I haven't read yet, but I am excited to read. We have Summer Romance by Annabelle Monaghan or Monahan. I don't know. I heard Destiny say that she heard that it was Monahan, but I don't know. This is the first one. The next one is a novel love story by Ashley Poston or Poston. Tangled Up in You by Christina Lauren. And then Dishonestly Yours by Krista and Becca Ritchie. So these are the new releases that I'm excited to read, but I haven't read yet. The next prompt is my most anticipated release for the second half of the year, and I might have to do some research for this one because I'm not entirely sure. I am excited for Daydream. I know that that comes out in the second half of this month, or I mean in the second half of this year, but I'm honestly not too sure what else comes out up in this year. So I'm gonna have to do some research and then get back to you. Okay, I'm back. So I think my two most anticipated releases are Wild Eyes by Elsie Silver and Daydream by Hannah Grace. I think. Those are the two main ones that I can think of right now, so I could be missing something. The next little prompt is the biggest surprise or the book or series that exceeded your expectations, and for me, that is without a doubt the Prison Healer trilogy. I loved these books. I don't doubt that I will go back and reread them at some point because I don't even know what it was about them, but I just absolutely adore them. And the second two especially, I could not stop reading them. Like the second I started, there was no putting them down. So I finished these two like crazy fast. And this one I finished pretty fast too, but these two, like, I flew through them, which tells me everything I need to know about the books. So yeah, this series or trilogy was the biggest surprise to me for sure so far this year. I'm excited to figure out if there are any other books that will top this for my end of the year wrap up or my end of the year tag. So yeah. The next prompt is favorite new author to me or just in general, and I'm gonna go for me because yeah, I don't really know. I guess technically Lauren Roberts, the author of Powerless, Powerful, and Reckless. So good. And then the other one is definitely Abby Jimenez. I did not pick up any of her books until this year, and I have been eating them up. Yeah, so far I've read Part of Your World, Yours Truly, and Just for the Summer. I have some of the other books, I just haven't read them yet, but I will get to them because boy do I love her writing. So I would say those are my two favorite new to me authors, and Lauren Roberts is technically a new author too, so double whammy there. And sorry if the lighting just changed, I think a cloud just went over the sun. Love that. The next prompt is newest fictional crush, and I know I said I wasn't gonna reuse books, but Kai Azer and Justin from Just for the Summer, those two, definitely them. They win. I think about them way too often, so I'm counting those two as my newest fictional crushes. And the next question or prompt is a book that made me cry, and I'm gonna have to think about this for a second. This little novella, yeah, she's tiny. She's tiny, but boy does she pack a punch. I bawled my eyes out reading this. What the heck? So yeah, this book definitely made me cry. Kingdom of Ash definitely made me cry. Magnolia Park's The Long Way Home. This book made me cry. So I don't think any other book has so far this year. The most beautiful book I bought so far this year, without a doubt, the special edition for Archer's Voice. Have I read this book? No, I haven't. But I could not pass this up. It's gorgeous. Like, look at this. Like, you're kidding. You're actually kidding. And then, like, it has annotations and stuff on the inside as well. How do you pass that up? The real answer is you don't. So I didn't, and I picked this up even though I've never read it, but I'm going to. It's in my 24 in 2024, so it will be read. When? I don't know, but it'll happen. Next up is a book that I enjoyed that got mixed reviews, and right now the thing that comes up to the top of my head is Reckless by Lauren Roberts as well, and it's the sequel to Powerless. I don't know where my book is. I think it's in the other room, so I'm not gonna get it, but maybe I'll pop a picture up. There have been a lot of mixed reviews on it, but I loved it, so I don't know. So next up we have a book that I didn't enjoy, but everybody else seemed to love. So don't hate me for this one, guys. Butcher and Blackbird by Bryn Weaver. I know, I'm sorry. I don't know what it was, but this book had me cringing, like physically cringing. And personally, not a fan. Whenever I'm physically cringing, that means the book is a no-go for me. The next prompt is how many 5 stars have I had so far? I'm gonna have to do some research. I'm not really sure. I have had 9 5 stars so far this year. That's crazy. That is honestly so many. I'm not a super hard rater though. Like, if I fully enjoy a book and it gives me all of the feelings, then I'm probably gonna rate it 5 stars. I don't have like a whole list of criteria that a book needs to meet in order for it to be 5 stars. Like, I just do it based off of feeling. So yeah, I'm not a super hard rater, but 9 is still pretty good. The next prompt I have is if I have any planned rereads. So as of now, I am planning to reread the Avatar series. I did kind of start that at the end of June. I reread just the first book, so like A Court of Thorns and Roses. But I would really like to reread the rest of the series at some point. I don't know if that's gonna happen because I do have a bunch of books that I need to get through, but they are just good palate cleansers right now because I already know what happens, and yeah. So sometimes I do just like rereading books for that purpose alone. Like, sometimes it's just easier for me to reread a book than it is to read a new one. So yeah, that's pretty much the only planned reread I have as of now. Next up is if I have any 5-star predictions for the rest of the year, and I definitely do. I think Binding 13 could be. I still haven't read it. It's happening this month at some point. I just don't know when yet. I think at least one of the books in the Harry Potter series is going to be a 5 stars for me. I haven't read it yet. I plan on doing a video reading them at some point in the fall or winter. I think Heartless Hunter might be 5 stars for me. And yeah, those are the main 5-star predictions that I have as of now. I think that's going to be the last prompt or the last question that I answer, because the last one that I actually have on my list is what books do I want to read by the end of this year? And I think I'm going to make that a whole nother video because boy are there a lot. So yeah, that's going to be the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe down below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!